Today, I'm rating and ranking the entire Motley Crue discography from Too Fast for Love to Saints of Los Angeles, and I've recruited some Motley Crue experts to give me some help. Welcome to Mighty Metal Mutt. My name is Chris Wilmore, and I'll be your host as we go through the entire discography of Motley Crue. For my first rating and ranking video, I wanted to get some backup, so I enlisted not only Motley Crue fans, but those who have truly lived the Motley Crue life. So I teamed up with the ultimate Motley Crue tribute band, Crueligans.
If you haven't heard of them, let me break it down. They're loud, wild, and massive Crue fans. For over a decade, they've dressed the part, played the music, and recreated the legendary stage show. They're celebrating their 10th anniversary in 2025. They mainly play in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but have toured across the United States. Check them out at Crueligans.com or on social media. I met up with them at T's Bar and Grill in Lewisville, Texas to talk albums. We were also joined by the dancers and backup singers from Nastier Habits, who shared their takes as well. Now, quick heads up, my microphone had some issues, but theirs worked fine. So I'll be introducing each album here and then let the interviews speak for themselves. Now here's the rating system that I gave the band. It's a 1 through 10 system, 10 being perfect, wouldn't change a thing, 5, meh, not great, not awful, and 1, trash. We averaged all our scores, mine, the band's, and the dancers when they put in their 2 cents, to rank each album. Some took the job seriously, others, they had more fun with it. Either way, we had a blast. Let's get into this, starting at the beginning with Too Fast for Love. Originally self-released in 1981, Too Fast for Love got remixed and re-released by Elektra Records in 1982. Crue's heavy metal style was still underground. That year's charts were dominated by bands like REO Speedwagon, Journey, and AC/DC. I didn't own this album until recently, so no nostalgia factor here, but a few tracks really stood out. Live Wire is a killer opener, raw energy that demands attention. Too Fast for Love is catchy and simple in the best way. I surprisingly liked Starry Eyes even though the chorus felt weak. Tonight and On With the Show gave off a retro, almost 60s vibe. The latter reminded me of the Shangri-La's Leader of the Pack. Maybe even inspired Green Day's City of the Damned. The production is raw, the energy is high, and there are 0 ballads, just pure rock. Still, not every track hit for me. It wasn't bad, but far from their strongest. I give it a score of 6.5. So what do you think the Crueligans thought?
I definitely give this album, this is one of my all-time favorites, just because of the rawness of it. It was their first release, and I love it. I give it, probably a 9 or a 10 for Motley Crue.
Yeah, every tune on this album is a banger. I mean, it's great. I love every single one of them on it, so I would definitely give it a 9. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's the first Motley Crue album I actually had too, so
yeah, me
that's
too.
another.
Starry Eyes, I love it. I gotta play that one tonight. I give it a 8.9.
This wasn't actually my first introduction to Motley Crue, but it grew on me pretty quick. I'm going 8 on this one.
Well, I love the cover. I want that belt and those pants. Live Wire is very fun to perform.
I just love the color, the cover. Red and black, awesome.
So there you have it. Too Fast for Love starting out strong with a score of 8.38. Next up, Shout at the Devil. Produced by Tom Werman, Shout dropped in September 1983. Again, I didn't own this one originally, so no nostalgia, but what a jump in quality. Hits like Shout at the Devil, Looks That Kill, Too Young to Fall in Love, and the Beatles cover Helter Skelter are all strong. Add in 10 Seconds to Love and Danger, which tries for something a little more melodic, and you get a more refined sound. My only complaint with Danger is that Tommy Lee sounds a little lost during the slower moments in the song. A standout track for me, though, is God Bless the Children of the Beast, a short, beautiful Mick Mars guitar piece. It actually reminds me of the interlude in Metallica's Master of Puppets, which didn't come out for another 3 years. My score, 7.5. Let's get the Crueligans take.
Yeah, Shout at the Devil was really big as far as there were some songs and videos on MTV that really it took Motley Crue off for them. Video wise, musically, their look and everything. It's one of my favorite albums. It's not my favorite album. Of course, Too Fast for Love is probably still my favorite. This is definitely my second or third favorite. It's right there. It ties with Feel Good for me because Feel Good's a great album as well. Written fantastic. But yeah, I'll give this probably a 9.
Yeah, Shout's definitely, it's my favorite album that Motley did. Most of the songs are great. There's probably one that I don't care for too much, and we probably all share that same feeling.
Danger?
Yeah, it's Danger, right? Drawing a blank. Danger. But other than that, I give it a 9. It's my favorite.
I give it a. I can't even see that small. What song they got? Shouting the Devil on that one?
Yeah, they got Looks to Kill.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
I'm Dead Kid.
Oh, why do we? Yeah, okay. I would give that one a 7.5.
This album's a straight up 10. This
Really?
is yeah.
No.
This is when my songwriting really started to bloom, and we were running on all cylinders when we wrote this one. Yeah, straight up 10. And
yeah?
Danger's the best song on there.
How the backup dancers do?
10.
Awesome.
10.
10.
Here.
And with that, Shout at the Devil takes a giant leap to an even 9. Next up, Theater of Pain. Now we're in my zone. I remember seeing the Smoking in the Boys Room video on Friday Night Videos, NBC's budget version of MTV back when we didn't have cable. Tom Werman returned to produce this album in 1985. It had a mixed reception for being too polished and too poppy, but it worked for MTV and was their first push towards superstardom. Their 2 big hits, Smoking in the Boys Room, which is a Brownsville Station cover, and Home Sweet Home, are both solid, but they are a little overplayed. Other highlights for me include Save Our Souls, Raise Your Hands to Rock, and my personal favorite on the album, Fight for Your Rights. Yes, fans may not like it, but I love it, and I'll stand by it. My score, 8. Let's go back to the Crueligans.
I remember this. I had this on cassette, and like everybody saw, Smoking in the Boys Room, the video on MTV. Also, Home Sweet Home was huge for them on MTV. I really think I love the song City Boy Blues. I mean, a lot of these songs to me are just okay. Like you said, it is polished. I would have to give this a 7. I really think that if it wasn't for Home Sweet Home and Smoking in the Boys Room, if those didn't make MTV, I don't even know if we would have seen, because what they say on this is their 3rd release, a lot of bands collapse after their 3rd album in the 80s. Some of them did. And I think that if Motley did not have Home Sweet Home and Smoking in the Boys Room on MTV, I don't know if you would have saw another Motley record. I mean, that's just my opinion. But I give it a 7.
So this is my favorite. This is my favorite Motley Crue logo. The way
Yeah,
the font is
for sure.
that they did.
For
I
sure.
love that. It was originally going to be called Entertainment or Death, right?
Yeah.
Yep. For me, I really loved this album. I liked everything about it. A lot of people don't, but there's not really a song on there that I don't like. I like every bit of it. And I loved the imagery of Motley at that time. I loved that really glammy look and the pinks and everything else. I thought that was great, for the time. Completely different than Shout and that imagery. Still love that, but I thought this was kind of a cool change. Not near as strong as Shout at the Devil, but I love it myself. I would give it a 7.8.
I like my piano playing on this Home Sweet Home here. Every once in a while, I'd have to re-record it because I'd hit the wrong key. I still do it, it's because of the beer.
Depends on how much you drink.
Yeah, pretty much, or sweaty hands or something like that. I do like it. I kicked ass on City Boy Blues. My drum solo, if you ever heard that one, man. All right, so I would give this big old 7.5. I think if I wasn't so hammered, I could have played it better on the album, but hey, it would have turned into an 8.
We'll go with a 9 for the cover art.
Yeah, definitely.
A 7.
Hey, you feel bad for the guy crying?
An 8. Oh, I'm going with an 8 for the songwriting, so I got an 8.5 for this one. I'm happy with it.
I like the cover. I think the cover is very, very, very artsy. I think it's great. I give it a how about a 9 for the cover. I like it.
Well, unfortunately, this one did not do so well. Theater of Pain with a final score of 7.76. Now we move on to their 4th album, Girls, Girls, Girls. This was officially the first Motley Crue album I ever owned. Perfect for a middle school kid, songs about strip clubs, street life, and chaos. Produced again by Werman, released in May of 1987, I wore this album out, but mostly I stuck to my favorite tracks, which still hold up for me today. Wild Side, my all-time favorite Motley Crue song. Girls, Girls, Girls is iconic. You're All I Need, which is dark lyrics disguised as a love song. And the Elvis cover, Jailhouse Rock, which I understand is not well received by the fans, but a fun guilty pleasure for me nonetheless. The rest of the album, not super memorable, and I still don't get the song Nona. My score for this is back to 6.5. Talk to me, Crueligans.
This tour was a great tour. As far as the record, I didn't think it was that great of a record. Although Wild Side, Girls, 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 awesome. Great videos. A lot of memories for sure. You're All I Need, another cool song. Other than that, I would probably give this probably a 5 or a 6, to be honest with you. Other than Wild Side and Girls, those two are cool songs, and we do them live.
Yeah, again, the imagery was big for me on this one. I loved when that new look again, that they completely changed the look from Theater of Pain. It's kind of a dirty, sleazy, just more sleaze look to it. I really like that. I bought this album in San Antonio on a school trip. Snuck away from the school trip to run in the mall and grab this album and listen to it all the way back 2 or 3 times. I'm kind of with Dee Dee here. It's like I like Wild Side, Girls, 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 and I do like You're All I Need. I'm another guy that likes that song, but the rest of it I could do without. I didn't think it was real strong. I'd give this one a 6.
I like the Kawasaki's on the front cover.
They're mopeds, bro.
Yeah, they're actually battery powered, I think.
Oh, the electric bicycles. Okay. All right. So what do we got? Girls, Wild Side, and Nona jams too. Nona's the baddest. I would give this. I didn't know what I was doing during this album. I was really messed up. So I don't remember recording half these songs, and I think I was 5 years dead. But Mick saved me on this one. Mick, why didn't you charge my bike up for me so I could ride my scooter, my bad motor scooter?
I had nowhere to plug that thing in.
Why don't you plug it in?
I didn't have a cable long enough for the.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, 5.6.
Ooh. Girls, Girls, Girls. Definitely a completely different look than the clown suits that we wore on the previous album. But yeah, I like it. Going with the more of the biker look. Fits them much better.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. I'm going with the 8 on this one. 8.
Wow,
Straight.
golly.
Yeah.
I have to say this is the two songs on here, Girls and Wild Side, were my two favorites to choreograph to. Those were good songs. So I give it about an 8.5. Absolutely.
Another disappointing album from the Crue. Girls, Girls, Girls settles at a 6.68. Now on to their fifth album, Dr. Feelgood. For this album, the band brought in Bob Rock. Yes, the same guy who would later produce Metallica's Black Album. Released in 1989, Dr. Feelgood became their first and only #1 album. Songs like Dr. Feelgood, Same Old Situation, Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away, and Kickstart My Heart, which happens to be my second favorite Crue song of all time. They all hit hard, but then there's Without You, which frankly is probably one of my least favorite Crue songs. Total cheese. I'm just not a fan. However, Time for Change is an underrated ballad with a hopeful tone. At the time, it kind of inspired me. Now, well, let's just say every generation has its flaws. My score is a whopping 8.5. Do the Crueligans agree with me on this one?
Great freaking album. A lot of memories with this one as well, and the tour was great. Yeah, it's definitely timeless. I mean, you could put this in and listen to it all the way through, cruising down the down the highway. I rank it up there with their first album and Shout. I mean, great album. I'm gonna go with a 9.
Yeah, Dr. Feelgood with Bob Rock kind of just set it off. I mean, it was the production value. They were actually sober when they did this album. And so you could really tell in the musicianship, it went up a notch. I spent many a summers during that time, windows down, sunroof open, just cruising around, blaring this all the time. There's Without You is the only song I don't care for on this album, but everything else is great.
Played so good on
Time
it,
for a
though.
Change, I don't like that one too much either, but those are the two ballads, so I'm not a ballad guy. It's an awesome album. I'll give it a 9.2.
I think this album is polished, pretty damn good. I played it when I was sober. I recorded every beat when I was sober, and I kind of stole Time for Change from Home Sweet Home, because that's kind of the same keys in it, even though I hit them at the wrong time, but it's the same notes. Yeah, yep, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's pretty jamming. Sticky Sweet's pretty good. One day we're gonna play that again, and it jams pretty good. I'll give this one a 12.2. 10 plus 2.5. How'd you do?
I did pretty good on this album, from what I remember. I definitely liked my guitar tone on this one. Very heavy.
Oh, you were
Yes,
jamming on it.
yes,
you
big time,
rock.
big heavy. I'm going with a 9.5 on this one.
Whoa, easy. Simmer
I
down
almost
now.
said 10, but
Bust the brain cell.
yeah, 9.5. Thank you. very
9.5?
much. Yes, thank you.
All right, 9.
Okay, so as far as dancing goes, Dr. Feelgood is one of my favorite things to dance to. Yes, Matt. And we do have a dance to Slice of Your Pie that we are maybe eventually going to add to our set list. Kickstart My Heart is awesome too. Sticky Sweet is great. SOS. I give this album a freaking 9.5. Like, there's so many bangers on here. So, yeah, rock on.
And just like that, Motley Crue turns things around and Dr. Feelgood gets a 9.28. Next up, Motley Crue's self-titled album. Now it gets really interesting. It's 1994 and grunge has set in, and hair metal was seen as inferior to the general public. With their sixth album, the band kept it self-titled, and this one divided fans. Bob Rock was back to produce, Vince Neil was out, and John Corabi was in. Corabi had a grittier voice, and the band adopted a heavier, more alternative sound. Think Alice in Chains meets Metallica. It was the 90s after all. The album didn't sell well, but creatively, it was one of their strongest. Power to the People is a strong opener. Crueligans Holiday really rocks. Misunderstood is a great song that I've always loved, but is it a ballad or a rocker? Yes, on both accounts. I just call it perfect. Poison Apple's a song I like despite its silliness, and Corabi channels singers like Robert Plant and Ian Astbury in the song Death To Us Part. Dropping Like Flies sounds like it could be on the first Stone Temple Pilots album. And the final song, Drift Away, an acoustic ballad, ties the album up in a nice bow. Ultimately, the songs are longer, darker, and way more serious than the Crue's 80s catalog, but it works. The only thing that sucks is that they didn't get to do a follow-up with Corabi. I wish I gave this album a chance when it came out. My score is a 9. Let's take it back to the Crueligans.
Man, I loved this album when it came out. I jammed to it. I mean, I don't know for how long until I wore it out. I wore it out. Great album. Whoop. Heavy, sounds going on, heavy drums, well written, other than, Vince not being on it. I definitely give it a 9.
Yeah, I loved this one as well. Tommy's performance was unreal, just banging the whole time.
Sober like a
The guitar
mofo.
tone, and then having Corabi playing guitar and singing too, just thicken the sound up. Something severe, production-wise, heavy songs. It's not a lot of people's favorites, but I love it. I'll give it a 9 as well.
It was a great album. We all got heavy on this one. It was pretty bad. Beep. Can I say ass? All right, it was pretty badass. It was jamming. Tell you what, it was heavy. If we would have called this the Flying Farts, it probably would have done a lot better. But you can't associate Motley Crue with Vince Neil and then fire him, or it should have been called something else, and it would have done badass. Because these songs they are awesome. I'll give this one a 10. This thing is heavy.
They could have called that You're Invited, but Vince can't come.
Yeah, Noah's James, the first song. Oh man, you hear the cowbell in there? Doink, 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 doink. What do you think, Vinny?
I'm thinking,
Hi, Vinny. Too many IPAs.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
That's all I gotta say.
It's gotta be
10?
10.
Yeah, we just did Alzheimer's.
My husband really likes him. I don't know a lot about the new singer of Slow and Scream, but Johnny really likes him.
Must be good.
And what a surprise, Motley Crue's self-titled album earns a 9.5. Next up, Generation Swine. Corabi is out, Vince Neil is back in, and nobody in the band, including Neil, were happy about it. Rob Zombie producer Scott Humphrey came in to produce this 1997 album. Instead of returning to form, the band attempted to release a grungy alternative album, and it was not received well. There are a few standout tracks that I like. Afraid sounds like a mix of Smashing Pumpkins and STP. My favorite song on the album, Flush, sounds like it could have been on STP's third album. Confessions is another song that I believe would have got radio play had it come from another band. It's hard to believe, but despite the dry production, the band seems to have more melodic songs on this album. Glitter and Rocket Ship are great ballads. The album does have some bangers though. Let Us Pray and A Rat Like Me have a heavy grunge sound that works for me. And if you were wondering what Shout at the Devil would sound like if it were done by an industrial band, take a listen to Shout at the Devil 97. It's interesting, but I doubt I would listen to it if I had the original handy. Generation Swine has, in my opinion, the band's worst song, Brandon. Admittedly, it's a heartfelt song sung by Tommy Lee about his son, but the lyrics needed editing and the song really needs a lot of work. Despite all its messiness, I liked Generation Swine, but I see why others didn't. They alienated their fans, attempting to stay relevant, and really had no shot with an alternative audience because of their name. I actually liked Generation Swine, so I give it a 6.5. It probably would have got a 7 had it not been for Brandon. I bet the Crueligans agree with me on this one.
I liked some of it. Some of the writing's cool. Some of it's just not so cool. I would definitely have to say I give it probably a 6. Yeah.
Crap. Shout 97 is the only thing good about it. I give it a 1.
I don't know who's upside down in the pig face, but it's kind of cool. I'll give it a. Hold on, wait a minute. Look, Shout 97 is the best song on here, even though it was on the second album, but it was like the dance remix or something. I'll give it a negative 3.5.
Let's see. I didn't know they did that song on here. 6. 4.
And just like that, Motley Crue hits its lowest score with a 4.1 for Generation Swine. Next up, New Tattoo. After the last 2 experiments, the band wanted to give the fans a more traditional Motley Crue album, so in the year 2000 they gave us New Tattoo. Tommy Lee moved on, and Ozzy Osbourne drummer Randy Castillo took over on the drum kit. The band stripped things back and aimed for a classic Crue sound. To get that sound, they brought in Guns N' Roses producer Mike Klink, and he was successful for the most part. Now admittedly, I had to listen to this album a number of times before songs started to stand out to me, but it was worth the wait. The album opener, Hell in High Heels, is a fun Motley Crue song that brings you back to the Girls, Girls, Girls days. New Tattoo is good as well. Hollywood Ending serves as the ballad on this album, and I really like it. Just a simple story about a guy who wants his ex-girlfriend back, but lo and behold, she's with someone else. Fake and Treat Me Like the Dog I Am are fun additions as well. One song I did not care for though was White Punks on Dope, which I later found out was a cover from the band The Tubes. When the album came out, New Tattoo barely got on my radar. I was only vaguely aware that it even existed. That being said, I really enjoyed it and would recommend it to a Motley Crue fan who enjoys the band's more basic rock songs. I give it a 7. Let's hear what the Crueligans think.
Honestly, yeah, Hell on High Heels is really the only one I know off of this, I think, because this was a time I was out playing a lot. I remember it coming out. I only heard that song, Hell on High Heels, on the radio, and I thought it was just okay. I never listened to this whole album front to back ever, just be honest with you. So I'll go with a 3.
Yeah, I've listened to this a few times. Hell on High Wheels I would say, is probably the only one I even cared for. You know, Tommy had to split to go do his rap career, so, you know, it wasn't the best. I give it there's some decent songs, I guess. I give it like a 3.
$77 million made for watching me come under the sun on my vacation. That's why I went to do Methods of Mayhem. I give this one a 1.
I really enjoyed working with a new drummer on this album. I'm going to say this one. Oh, man. I'm going 1.2.
It's hard to believe it did worse than Generation Swine, but New Tattoo got a final score of 3.04. And finally, the band's 9th and final album, Saints of Los Angeles. 8 years had passed and a lot has happened to the guys since New Tattoo. Nikki Sixx was involved with side projects. Vince Neil continued as a solo artist. Mick Mars was dealing with health issues, and Tommy Lee was also touring as a solo artist. They did eventually reunite and put out Saints of Los Angeles. Rock was experiencing somewhat of a resurgence. Metallica and AC/DC were making a comeback, as well as Disturbed and Radiohead. The album was produced by Nikki Sixx, James Michael, and DJ Ashba, who coincidentally are the 3 members of Sixx's side project, 6am. The producers brought back a slicker sound, much like Bob Rock's work with Dr. Feelgood and their self-titled album. The album's about the love-hate relationship the band has with the city of Los Angeles. Each song is a nostalgic piece about their time breaking out as a band in California. Face Down in the Dirt is another strong opener from the band. It talks about their attitude towards becoming a huge act. Sort of an all-or-nothing viewpoint on success. If I'm not going to be huge, I'd rather be dead. What's It Gonna Take is about being a broke band on the Sunset Strip doing what you have to do to make it. Down at the Whiskey is a love song to the club, Whiskey A Go-Go. The title song, Saints of Los Angeles, was also their first and biggest single off the album. It's about how they struck it big as they signed their life away, which you can probably read as selling your soul to the devil or to the record company. MNFer of the Year doesn't really need explanation. It's a cool song, it's got a great groove and a chorus. The Animal in Me is a dark song with a catchy chorus as well. The lyrics almost place it as a sequel to You're All I Need. Aside from a few duds on the album, Saints of Los Angeles is another solid release from the band. I give this one a 7. Crueligans, you're up.
I mean, there's a few songs on here that I can listen to, and there's several that I can't. Overall, I don't think it was that great of an album. I would give it a 3.
Yeah, Saints is like one of those albums that it's not really Motley Crue doing it. I mean, Mick didn't play on the whole album. DJ Aspa did. So it was more of a 6 a.m. kind of disguised as Motley Crue kind of thing. So I think that really influenced Nicky on a lot of the songs that he wrote. So, I mean, it does have some cool tunes on it. I mean, I've jammed this quite a bit. Just listened to it front to back. I'd give it I'm going to go with 5.5 on that one.
Nicky had a badass bass line at the beginning of Saints, but yeah, I'll give it about a 5 myself. Yeah, one good song.
Yeah,
What do you think there, McDog?
I think. I pretty much recorded this whole album in my basement, from what I remember.
Oh,
And it came out pretty good. This was a 9.5.
9.5? Wow.
And with their final album, Saints of Los Angeles, they get a score of 6. And now for our final tally. Coming up last is New Tattoo, followed by number 8, Generation Swine. Number 7 sees Saints of Los Angeles. 6, Girls, Girls, Girls. Number 5, Theater of Pain. Number 4, Too Fast for Love. Number 3, Shout at the Devil. Number 2, Dr. Feelgood. And number 1, the album without Vince Neil, Motley Crue's self-titled album.
So there you have it, all the Motley Crue albums ranked from first to last by experts and myself. What do you think of the rankings? Were they fair? Were they unfair? Were you surprised? How would you rank them? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to thank the Crueligans for helping me with this video. They were good sports despite some issues with the technology. If you're interested in catching one of their shows, go check out Crueligans.com or catch them on social media. Trust me, this is a show you want to catch. If you enjoyed this video, please throw me a like and subscribe. If you are interested in the songs I liked on the albums, I have created special playlists on some of the streaming sites. I will have those links below as well. So until next time, avoid the political channels, listen to music, and catch some live shows, either from the bands themselves or those who pay tribute to them. Just do yourself a favor, reacquaint yourself to the classics. I appreciate you all. Take care.
Woo! Thank you.
If it wasn't for the original bands doing what they did, we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing. So it's because of them. We just try to do it as best we can and have fun and drink beer and, you know.
Mighty Metal Mutt.